Like the OG said, we cooking with gas now. K100 Radio. Chill out right now, man. We are live right now at Orileys, man. We pulling up. We talking to everybody. It's Miss Shyrans' 70th birthday party, man. We over here on the east side in her hood, her community, at her establishment, Orileys Bar. Make sure y'all pull up over here on Covington Highway. We talking to Johnny Kane right now, a longtime friend of Miss Sharon and somebody that comes to the establishment and works for everything. And we just getting in-depth interviews with everybody about the experience, about knowing her. You know what I'm saying? Just say some really good things about it tonight. That's why we here. So go ahead. That's our camera right there, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Well, welcome to the broadcast. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. So you said there was a couple things that you wanted to make sure that you mentioned.
Yeah, Miss Sharon's son, Ed, that's my main man.
Right.
Now, arguably, I'm probably the best pool player
oh.
in the state of Georgia.
Oh.
And also, arguably, the best chess player. So Ed...
That one I'll take you up on.
Okay.
I'll take you up on that.
Well, Ed got $100 for you. If you come to Orileys on Covington Highway in Decatur, Georgia, and play Johnny Kane in chess or pool. If you win, you'll get $100.
Okay. All right. I'm not bad. Pool, but chess, I may.
Well, you know, we can stop right now and go play.
If I wasn't working, I would.
Okay,
now you got me intrigued. Now you got me intrigued.
Yeah, I love it just like that.
Talk about Miss Sharon for me and how
well,
you
Miss Sharon is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Hard but fair.
Right.
And she'll give you the shirt off her back if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
But don't get on the bad side now.
Hey.
I'm gonna tell you, stay in the middle or to the right. Cause you get on the bad side now, you know.
You can't be responsible for what happened.
I can't be responsible, but she's a beautiful person. Her son is too, and matter of fact, the whole family. They're good people.
Well, they are, and she's ever since I met her, like I said, I'm not from Atlanta, but I've been here for 20 years, and I met her several years ago at an event that we had here, and you know, and actually the very first time I ran into her, I think it was in Macon, and then she told me, she said, you live in Atlanta. Then I came up here to a party that she had here, and she seen what we was doing and everything, and she invited us out, and you know, brought us out as guests and everything, and I just felt like, you know, she just feel like everybody mama, you know what I'm saying, you know, everybody grandmama.
And she'll keep you straight.
Now
you're out of line. Now don't come in here sideways, cause she's gonna straighten you right up.
Absolutely, I get that. I get that definitely. I ain't never had no problem with
and got backing. You got plenty of backing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So anything else you want to add? Make sure you give her a happy birthday shout out.
Well, happy birthday, Miss Sharon. I love you, and hope you many, many more.
That's what's up.
And you're running a good establishment. It's a place where you could come and you ain't got to worry about getting killed or shot, called DeKalb County right at the door.
Yeah.
But you can come here and have some good chicken wings, and you can listen to some good music, you know. And you can play me in some chess or some pool. But
I think I'm gonna take him up on that.
I like to get paid for what I know. So, you know.
All right, K100 Radio, we really appreciate it. Johnny Kane right here. We're live right now. O'Reilly's Bar. Miss Sharon's 70th birthday party. It's crazy. That food is laid out over there. That buffet looking sweet. I know I'm gonna hit me some of that over there in a minute. Absolutely. Check that out. Absolutely. Thank you, bro, for coming.
But that's the interview.
You got some more yet?
Yeah, I want to talk about some issues.
Oh, let's do that.
I want to talk about
let me stop. We got time.
Yeah.
Let's go. Go ahead.
I want to talk about some issues because I'm disappointed in my brothers.
Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
And I'm 61 years old. And I love my people.
Right.
And I think we're underachieving. I think that we're lazy. And I think we at the train station waiting on our ship to come in, so to speak.
Right.
And we messed up. And you know, there's a verse in the Bible that speak about knowing a tree by the fruit it bears. So all this confusion, all this unethical stuff that's happening in the street, black men, you're responsible for that.
Right.
You're responsible for that. And we need to come on and get it right and empower ourselves with some knowledge. Not just street knowledge, but God knowledge, so we can teach our children. We need to start teaching our children because they coming behind us and they our future.
Yeah.
And nothing in, you know, children are like a computer.
All right.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
So they got to have us men in the forefront teaching and filling in the gap and being responsible and setting a good example for them. You know, and also on the other side, I hear a lot of black men my age and older, a lot of younger black men who are speaking publicly that the vote don't count.
Oh yeah, now I have a big issue with that. And listen, I'm not as young maybe as people. Sometimes people think I'm maybe in my 30s, 20s, but I'm actually just hit 40. And so I understand the importance of it now. You know what I'm saying? It's just being somebody that has a business, homeowner, all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is a large portion, especially of the generation behind me, that really just feel like voting doesn't matter. And while I definitely don't agree, and I always try to stop the apathy that goes on.
Right.
It's very hard sometimes when you get somebody and you see the way that they're being treated by their own government for them to take that same government serious.
Right.
Now I understand the argument. I meet a lot of young cats and they be like, man, we getting gunned down in the streets by the police. People supposed to protect us. What I'm voting for, it don't even matter. The law don't even really matter. And so it's discouraging to me. What would you say about that?
You know what? I always use this analogy right here, and I don't want nobody to think that I'm a homophobic or nothing like that. But, I grew up in an era where black and white water fountain.
Right.
And segregation. I grew up doing segregation.
Right.
6 o'clock, they'd blow a horn and all the black people had to be from downtown. This was the law.
Right.
But there were some people who fought and died to ensure that we had the right to vote.
Right.
And when we started voting, things started to change.
Right.
Because we had our destiny in our hands. Now, there used to be a time where if you wanted to vote, they'd give you what they call a literacy test.
Right, yeah.
And one of the questions was, how many bubbles in a bar of soap?
How many bubbles in a bar of soap?
Yeah, that was one of the questions. Now, there's no answer to that question.
Right.
There's no way you can know how many bubbles, so you couldn't vote. So the people, when they killed Dr. King, we passed some legislation. We passed the Voting Rights Act, we passed the Civil Rights Act under Dr. King and Lyndon Johnson.
Right.
All right. Now, when they killed Dr. King, all the black leaders kind of went their separate ways.
True.
Went their separate ways, and they kind of lost their fire for that. But the gay people continued to fight.
Right.
Now, in the 60s, well, let me go further back than that. In 1933,
right,
homosexuality was put in there, and I'm coming to something now.
Right.
Don't bear with me. Homosexuality was put in the medical journals as a mental illness, just like bipolar,
right,
and schizophrenia, right?
Right.
All right. So it stayed on the books until 1973. And the gay community rose up because they were on the coattail of the civil rights movement. Because once the black males, the heterosexual black men and women, went by the wayside and started doing their own thing and got disconnected from their struggle, so to speak, they were still in the fight legally. They were fighting for rights, and if you mistreated one, they wouldn't service your business. So they used their dollar. Right. To make
economic power, which is what we could do, what we don't.
So in 1973, they challenged the medical community to prove that homosexuality was a mental illness. Right. Now they kind of did this under the radar. Right. So the medical community couldn't prove it. Right. So they took it off. They forced them to take it off. Because if they would have been public with it, down the schizophrenia people come in and the bipolar people come in, and they could get you to prove it and can't take it out of the book. Right. But anyway, at this time there were no states sanctioning same-sex marriage. Right. Now, in 1978, they officially took the homosexuality as a mental illness out of the medical journal. Now, since 1978, these people done managed to make progress and pass legislation so there's all 50 states and all the territories supporting gay marriage. Right. Now, I don't, right, wrong, or indifferent. Right. These people had an agenda. Right. And you know how they got there. They voted, they used their dollars, and they were smart. Yeah. They were in the game, they had skin in the game. They voted locally, they voted statewide, and they voted in the presidential election. So they voted people in the office who supported their cause. Now, you could be mad at that. Right. But black men need to do this.
It's the
understand
same
what I'm
thing.
saying?
Yeah, right.
I'm proud of gay folks.
Yeah.
Because they done made the progress we should have been made.
Yeah.
And really, by them, and they pass, when you pass the legislation, when you got the ear of the president, you got the ear of Congress, because this is where the power, this is where the laws made.
I understand that totally, yeah.
Yeah. So we need to learn from these people. You ain't got to be gay.
Right.
But you need to get the knowledge they got, how they progress, and lift ourselves up and our people and our children out of this quagmire we in.
One last thing, and I want to add, and I ask you this.
Okay.
I hear a lot of people in the generation up under me, and really in my generation, I'm what they would call Generation X, I guess maybe.
Okay.
I'm up under a baby boomer, but not quite a millennial. I'm in the middle. They call it Generation X, whatever.
All right.
I feel more like a millennial than a baby boomer easily. But the question is this: everybody feels like there are no leaders. There is no Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or anything like that for the generation. Definitely up under me, they are completely just flying rudderless. You know what I'm saying? What would you say to somebody? Because it's hard for they need somebody that's their age. They need somebody that their peers. Y'all had y'all. Martin Luther King was a peer. He was about the same age as y'all. You feel me? There's also a huge dissolvation of the black church. The black church has really just lost a lot of clout and power.
Yeah.
Because a lot of scandals has come up, and a lot of I see
business now.
Yeah, I see more and more black men because see, back then that was the key. I think to Martin Luther King, and even if it was Malcolm X, they had mosques. Okay,
Right.
Martin Luther King had churches, so they had that one central location where they could get all the men to come because the men went there anyway. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. I got
but
you.
there is no place. You got the internet now. Like the internet is where
I
everybody's
hear
at.
you.
So how would you even
I
organize?
tell
somebody?
you what, I'm gonna challenge every black man that's I'm gonna say 18 and above.
Okay.
In the morning when you get up, look in the mirror. There's your leader.
I feel the same way.
There's your leader. Now, but what you gotta do is empower yourself with knowledge.
Right.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is the new currency, so to speak, for black people, I believe. Because if you have knowledge, you got power.
Right.
When you know, it protects you from not knowing.
Yeah.
When you understand, it protects you from misunderstanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of us got a story to tell, and my story can inspire you.
Yeah.
Somebody else's story can inspire 1,000.
Yeah.
But you got to have the courage and conviction to understand the dynamics and be willing to give your life for your people.
Yeah.
Now that's a very important component there, because we at war.
Right.
Believe it or not, we at war.
Been at war.
They got this voter suppression thing going on, and you got Donald Trump in office. The White House full of white supremacists. And my name's Johnny Kane, and I said that, and I mean that because I know that the first president Donald Trump appointed as his chief of staff, matter of fact, his campaign manager, was a white supremacist.
Okay. All right.
Was a white supremacist. And now he got another white supremacist as chief of staff, John Kelly.
All right.
The other day on the internet, on one of these shows, he praised Robert E. Lee. Well, Robert E. Lee was on the Confederacy side. What the hell are you doing praising him? He's an honorable man.
All right, that's a whole. Look, I gotta pause this right now.
But don't just get trumped up here, man.
But
in closing, leaders come from the lowest of the people.
Yeah.
That's where that's where Dr. King come from. I mean, his family had a little money, but what inspired him was how he was treated.
Right.
And he refused to accept that because he recognized that he was a human being.
Yeah.
He was a man, and he knew that I deserve better. God didn't make me to suffer like this.
Yeah.
So we gotta understand the dynamics of this thing and know that God made us wonderfully, beautifully made. We human beings. We got spirit. We're going back to where we came. Whatever you believe, where you're going. Wherever we came from, we going back there.
Absolutely, we are.
So, but anyway, we got to get serious about our lives. Right?
Yeah.
Spiritual life and your everyday life.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate the conversation, Johnny.
All right,
Kane.
man.
I definitely that makes me want to get that chess game going even more.
Yeah.
K100 Radio, we are live. This was a great conversation, man. I love this.
All right, man. Y'all be good, man. I love y'all.
Johnny
100.
Kane.
And don't forget to vote in the midterm election, cause we got to get rid of Trump and these white supremacists. Cause these folks ain't playing. These folks dead serious.
All right.
And it
K100
ain't.
Radio.
All right.
All
Y'all
right.
be good.